Alright guys, this is Kevin with Louisiana Snake ID on Facebook, LA Snake Boys with a Z on YouTube. This is a juvenile cottonmouth water moccasin, a venomous one. You see the tip of his tail, is got a little yellow going on in it. I'm trying to get it to chase me right now, currently not having any luck. In fact, it's going the other direction. When we saw it, it kind of was trying to get to the water behind me, and it slithered literally against my boot, never struck once. He's just trying to get over there, away from us. Let's see, he's going underneath some of this stuff. This is a good example of how well they blend in, because if you're not really paying attention, you wouldn't even see this. And these guys aren't even really camouflaged for this. They're more for around the water than they are pine straw, like a copperhead. But this is an example why you would want to watch where you grab, because if you were just trying to grab, collar's moving, so he feels the vibration. That's what's making him speed up a little bit as he goes away from me. I am going to try to put him closer to me, grab him very gently with this. I don't have my hook by me. Let's see, real quick. Not really putting any pressure, just kind of slightly moving it. In fact, I'm gonna put him right by my feet. And just wants to go away. Not trying to come at me at all, not trying to show any signs of aggression. Hadn't even curled up to be defensive. It's literally just trying to get away. I'll set it right here. Oh, there he goes, totally away from me. Landing, standing over there. He's not trying to go to landing. He's trying to go towards the water. We're just gonna let him go, and we're gonna let him go into the water. Again, this is Kevin with Louisiana Snake ID on Facebook, LA Snake Boys with a Z on YouTube, Venomous Cottonmouth Water Moccasin, and never struck at us once. Literally just wants to be left alone. It is swimming on top of the water, but if it really is scared, it'll go under the water too. It's kind of partially swimming like a water snake usually swims. To me, that's very similar to the water snakes. This one's had a good meal.
Oh, with the sun shining through the water, it's patterned.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's just right underneath this log right here. It's trying to be, see, I'm out of sight, so he thinks, okay, I'm safe. Kind of see his head peeking up right there. Let's move this stick just real quick. Sorry, buddy. He's sitting right there on top of the surface of the water. Here you go, buddy. Cool. Mostly underwater. But anyway, we're gonna let this guy go, look for some more. So we can do a video with one of them. See how awkward they swim? They're super awkward snakes. They really are. If anybody says they got chased by a cottonmouth, you need to work on your speed, because you're very, very, very slow. Again, a venomous cottonmouth water moccasin, LA Snake Boys with a Z on YouTube, Louisiana Snake ID on Facebook. We're gonna let it go and move on. Look at this venomous cottonmouth water moccasin rubbing against my boot as it passes. This one has it's a juvenile with the yellow tip of the tail. Got a fat belly, must have eaten a frog, more than likely. Their main diet is a frog and fish. The shape of that one kind of reminds me of a frog, so I'd say that's what it is. I don't want to disturb it because we don't want it to lose its meal, but I just wanted to show you that's my boot right there. And he's trying to get to the water right there. And it slithered right against my boot and did nothing at all. And this is Kevin with Louisiana Snake ID on Facebook, LA Snake Boys with a Z on YouTube, a gorgeous juvenile cottonmouth water moccasin. Look how awkward it is. Now this one has a fresh meal. But I'm telling you, cottonmouths are some of the most awkward, slithering snakes. They're not going to chase you, even if they don't. But even if you thought they were, you take 2 steps and you're out of the range. They're so slow and awkward. We're going to leave this one alone so it doesn't lose its meal. I don't want to throw its meal. It does have a dark zoromaster through its eyes. It doesn't have the dark vertical lines going on the side of the mouth. It's got some white on its belly. So it's got some of those colors shining through it. It's a really, really pretty snake, juvenile. And look how unaggressive it is. We're right here next to us, there's 3 of us, and it simply wants to get in the water. So we're just gonna kind of let it go on its own way. We're gonna go keep looking for more snakes, and we'll be back. This is Louisiana Snake ID on Facebook, LA Snake Boys with a Z on YouTube. Thanks for watching, guys. Kevin with Louisiana Snake ID here again. Look at this gorgeous juvenile venomous cottonmouth water moccasin. Just get him back out of this stuff real quick. Come see. Just try to get a video of you, buddy. It's okay. See how he's going away from us? He's not showing any aggression. He's actually underwater right there. The water was very shallow, but he was trying to go on the bottom. I'm going to get it and put it in this little water. It's a little bit deeper. I gotta get ahead of me. So small. Come on, buddy. Come on. Let's see if I can get you in the water over here. Let's go right this way. Alrighty. So, again, this is a juvenile. You can tell by the bright tip of the tail right there. Look how bright that tip is. That is not a stinger. It doesn't have any kind of rigidity to it at all. It's literally just a tail with some brightly colored scales. They use that as a caudal lure. Basically, they'll wiggle that kind of like a worm. And when prey comes close enough, they'll strike it. These guys are pit vipers. They're the only semi-aquatic pit viper in the world, actually, the cottonmouth. And but they're not. They have a bad rap for being aggressive. As you can see, this one has shown no signs of aggression, and it's not trying to strike at me. I'm gonna try to get in this water over here real quick.
He's staring into my soul.
Let's see if it'll go underneath it. Whoops, stick on top of it. It's okay, buddy. So let's see. So in pretty much underneath the water, he went underwater a little bit. This water where I walk through is too muddy, so I don't want to put him in that. I want to be able to see it, so you guys can see it. So let's see if we can't move him a little further. It's harder to hook these little ones, especially with one hand, just because they're so small.
Yeah, it's further over here.
He's under the water.
Yeah, he's underwater right now, fully underwater. So people ask, can they go underwater? Absolutely, they do. Main part of their diet is fish, so it'd be pretty silly if they couldn't go underwater. So I'm underwater. And also, come on, buddy. If I had my free hand, I could just. There we go. Let's see. This is a little deeper. Got some sunlight here. So, just let him sit right there for a sec. But this is Kevin with Louisiana Snake ID on Facebook. We are LA Snake Boys with a Z on YouTube. Let's see if I get to zoom in a little bit. It's kind of blurry all of a sudden. Let's see. I'm gonna wipe my lens real quick, just in case. It's a little clear there. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous snake. No aggression at all. We saw him sitting on a log. I took some pictures before we moved him. And he was swimming in the water right there.
The scales on his head are beautiful.
Yeah, gorgeous little guy. So how do we tell this is a moccasin? Well, for a juvenile, moccasin, copperhead, or pygmy rattlesnake, they'll have that bright tip of the tail. For a foot, that's a snake that's about a foot or less. These are considerably bigger than any DK's brown snakes, so there shouldn't really be any confusion with those. But unfortunately, people think those are juvenile copperheads or cottonmouths all the time. So how would we tell this is one? These guys, unlike the copperheads, have the very pixelated pattern on their belly, on their body, excuse me. It's kind of real jagged or pixelated, as I would describe it. From the top, you can't see his eyes. You see the bumps where the eyes are on the side of the head, but you can't see the actual eyes there. Let's see, let's scroll back this way now that we're good and clear. And we'll see the tip of the tail. Notice again how this one is not coming at us at all. He's going away. Haven't got him to come towards me at all, even if I've tried to for the video.
His light color is so easy to see the Zorro mask on his face.
Okay. So how do we tell if we're looking at the head? Okay, so we talked about how the eyes are not visible. From the side, if I can get a good shot, I'm doing this left-handed. Sorry, buddy. Let's see. Let's see if I can get you to be just to the side, just for a second, bud. There we go. Got a dark Zorro mask through the eyes. And we have no vertical lines along the side of the mouth. We have the little light, usually a light line will outline this dark Zorro mask. He's breathing heavy because he's scared. He's not showing any aggression, he's just scared. I'm a predator to him. We're not gonna harm it, we're gonna let it go right where we found it. But I wanted to do a quick video. Again, we're Louisiana Snake ID on Facebook. LA Snake Boys with a Z on YouTube. It's a venomous cottonmouth water moccasin, a juvenile, less than a foot long. I mean, probably 7-8 inches long. It was curled up on top of a log, not by the water. I mean, kind of by the water. There's water right over there, but it was further off from the water than you would think. As was the last one we caught as well. It was a good distance away from the water. That's so funny. But these guys right here, even if this one was to come at me full speed, I took 2 steps. And I'm done. Like I'm out of the range. You couldn't even catch me if you wanted to. So to say somebody was chased by a moccasin, it's another reason why I always kind of laugh at it. People are misunderstanding the behavior. If I was standing over here, and the water's right there, and the snake was right here, in between it, then if it wanted to go towards the water, it's not chasing me. It's just simply trying to get to the water because it feels like it can get away from me in the water, and it's right. It'll have a better chance of escaping doing that. So. What are snakes doing if they come towards you? Either they're trying to get to water or shelter. They don't have great vision, so it's possible it's coming towards you just to see. I'm just going to kind of let it go so you don't want to catch it again. That way it'll be really close to where we found it, and it'll be able to find some food up in there. So what could it be? Like I said, it could be that it's just coming towards you to get to the water. It could be you're between it and its home that it goes in, a little hole. Also, what people don't understand is snakes are smart enough to figure out that when people are fishing, a lot of times they'll catch a fish and they don't keep it. It's too small and they'll let it go. Well, then it ends up being injured and it's easy food for these snakes. So snakes are smart enough to figure that out and be like, hey, fishermen equal food.
Oh, wow, this is a beautiful angle.
Yes, fishermen are food, equal food as far as catching food for them. They're not actually going to try to eat a fisherman. We're way too big. No venomous snake in Louisiana or anywhere in the United States is big enough to eat a human. So they're not going to think we're prey, okay? So they're not coming at us. There's no reason for them to come towards a human to actually pose danger to the human and attack it. They're not going to do that. So anyway, this is Kevin with Louisiana Snake ID on Facebook, LA Snake Boys with a Z on YouTube, or Louisiana_snake_ID on Instagram. I'm going to leave this juvenile venomous cottonmouth water moccasin to kind of just go about its way. It'll eat lots of frogs and fish in this little swampy area where we are. It's the fourth one we've seen today. We did see a plain belly water snake we couldn't get to before it took off. But those are the only snakes we've seen so far. But hopefully we'll keep searching and keep finding some more. Thanks, guys.